So my screen's green.
I asked him, would you do the screen? He doesn't know.
Do I still do the thing all right?
Yep. Recorded by. So let's go. Anybody heard from Joe?
Joe's not going to be making it tonight.
Right. So we'll call meeting order tonight's planning commission meeting for. Interesting, it says September, but it's March 20th, 2023. Welcome to all of you. And then if you're interested, before we get going, if you're interested in speaking, make sure you sign in. So I'm not sure if all of you want to speak. The first item of business is approval of the minutes for February 27th, 2023. Does anyone have a chance to see those?
Did make a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Tonight's scheduled public hearing is case number 62723 dash. Oh my gosh. 000001 planning variance from North Bend City Code 18.72.0201A pertaining to fence heights and adjacent rights of way. And as Brian Gold, I'm planning commission chairperson. The planning commission will make a final decision on the application based on the complete record, including testimony received at tonight's public hearing. These proceedings will be recorded. The hearing will be conducted with accordance with North Bend City Code and State Law ORS 197.797. Staff will first present the staff report and recommendation. The applicant will have an opportunity to present the proposal and address any issues raised by the staff report and recommendation. For public testimony, I'll first hear from people who would like to speak in favor of the proposal. I will then ask to hear from people who have neutral comments or questions about the proposal. Finally, those in opposition to the proposal will have an opportunity to present testimony. City staff may then present additional material and recommendations. Based on the public testimony, the applicant will be an opportunity to have the last word. After each presentation, I'll ask for questions from the commission. Anyone wishing to speak, we are asking you to just use a sign-up sheet that has been provided. When called upon to speak, you must be recognized by the chairperson and must state your name and address for the public record. We ask that each speaker limit themselves to no more than 3 minutes. Please remember all presentations will be timed. You'll be informed until your allotted time has expired, and all speakers exceeding the time limit will be asked to immediately conclude his or her remarks. If you do not official presentation, be sure to provide a copy of statement to staff. Written testimony may also be offered and will be considered and made part of the record. In order to minimize repetitive testimony, organizations are encouraged to have only one person speak for the group, with each other members of the organization standing to show their support. Each person may testify only once unless called back to the podium of the requested council member to respond to a question. Thank you all for your cooperation. So as a commission, do you have any ex parte contacts or biases?
I do not. No.
I do not either. I'll declare that I made a site visit to the site tonight.
I did as well.
All right. Are there any challenges to any of the commissioners from the audience? Okay. So first order of business. First of all, state law requires me to tell you a number of things about the beginning of the hearing. First, applicable substantive criteria that applies to this application are contained in the written staff report and will be identified and discussed in oral staff report. Second, your testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards these criteria or other criteria in the comprehensive plan or development code that you believe apply to this application. Third, failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker, us, or other people an opportunity to respond may preclude appeal of the decision or the application based on the issue. Finally, to the applicant, failure to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow the city to respond to the issue precludes an action for damages in circuit court. Appeals from the planning commission are heard by city council. You'll now hear from the staff who will go over the staff report. Derek.
All right, before you is an application requesting a variance from NBCC 18.72.020 subsection 1A, which states that within 20 feet of a sidewalk or curb, no fence shall be over 8 feet in height, regardless of whether it's a front, rear, or side yard. The variance requested is for the applicant's rear and side yard to maximize usable to maximize the usable property. Due to the shape of his lot, a 6-foot fence is not possible while maintaining usable yard space in the rear. His fence is currently 6 feet tall to maximize privacy along the Virginia Avenue frontage. And the fence is well outside of the vision clearance area, as the house is set back over 20 feet along the northwest corner, and the fence is set back further than that. The vision clearance area was taken into account when approving the site plan for the house. We received 2 comments tonight. One, it was included in your planning commission packet. The other one was handed out this evening. It should be in front of you. And that comment is from Tim Wakeling, is that? And he's here tonight to speak on the issue as well. The comment that was brought up was regarding an alleyway to the east of the property. And it was something that's identified by the engineering department and will be addressed at a later date, irrespective of what happens here tonight. Staff found that the requested variance to be consistent with variance procedures set out in the North Bend City Code and consistent with the character of the neighborhood. Planning, building, and engineering have no other issues outside of the alleyway to the east. And that's all I've got.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Eric? Yeah, I have all kinds of questions. Well, not all kinds. So we're not going to discuss his letter at all concerning the alleyway, or is that part of
the alleyway will be addressed by the engineering department, but it doesn't pertain to the fence height. The comment that was received doesn't pertain to fence height. Tim may have something additional tonight.
Sean, did you have anything?
Yeah, so did city staff go over to the property and see if they could pull away from Roosevelt Loop onto Virginia going to the west and see if they have to pull out into the street just to see? And
no vision clearance issues.
okay,
So we're here tonight. They have an existing 6-foot fence and they want to make it an 8-foot fence. Is that why we're here?
They want to retain the 6-foot fence. So the fence was constructed after the date of our ordinance changing, which we discussed that issue a little bit last month regarding fence heights. But so the fence was constructed after that ordinance was passed. It was identified at final inspection of the new home that this is an issue. And so we're requesting a variance to allow that to remain.
And not be torn down.
And not be torn down.
So the other option is the options are they would tear it down or have a 4-foot fence. Is that?
A 4-foot fence, correct. Fronting Virginia.
Okay. Yep. Anyone have any questions? Your side before we?
yeah, let's keep going, push it forward.
Okay, so anyone wish to speak in favor of the variance? Okay, does anyone wish to speak in opposition or neutrally to the variance? No, I'm assuming you are all here to speak against the variance for your participants. Does anyone hear the applicant? Are you?
The applicant's over there.
Do you wish to speak? Okay. Okay. So Sadina, you guys aren't here to speak at all tonight? You're just here because it's your subdivision. I got you. And then Tim, you don't want to speak? Do you want to speak? Here, come on up and please state your name and your address, please.
Yeah, my name is Tim Wakeling, 2016.
Yep. Just start, sit and then talk.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Tim Wakeling, 2016 McKinley Street, North Bend.
Thank you.
And so my only concern, I'm not concerned about the height of the fence. I'm okay with that, but it's blocking the alleyway. And so if we want to take advantage of that property at some point, it's blocking the ability to access that property. That's my only opposition.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Does anyone, does the applicant wish to speak to?
I'm gonna speak.
Okay.
So my name is Cassandra Croft. And when we built that fence.
And your address, please.
What is the address? Our personal address
So it's the,
for the Roosevelt
yeah,
Loop,
the property. Yeah.
2015 Roosevelt Loop.
Thank you.
So when we built that fence, we matched it up with everybody else's, the 6 foot fence. And it's a safety issue to have a 4 foot fence there with the street being there. I personally, I think it's a little ridiculous about the alleyway. If somebody wanted to, take it down after, then that's fine. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Does anyone have any more questions for Derek before we close the public hearing?
And again, for our purposes, we're talking about the 6 foot fence on Virginia,
Correct,
not the alley.
correct,
That will be decided later.
correct. And that'll be done administratively.
I had a question on the as far as the fence that's to the west.
Across Roosevelt Loop.
Yeah, across
Okay.
towards the city of Coos Bay. That's 6 feet fence. How'd
Correct.
that get in there before?
That one was constructed prior to the passage of the ordinance.
Okay. So we're just here because they put a fence up after you guys figured it out and,
After June 2021.
all right. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
So we'll close the public hearing and open commission comments on this. Does anybody have anything?
So I'll start off. I did go there and I did look and I drove up to the corner. And it's very difficult to see traffic heading west down Virginia. You actually have to pull out into the road a little bit in order to see past that fence. If you're making a right, it's not a problem. You can see the traffic coming out of the way. It's the westbound traffic coming down Virginia. And that's the safety issue I have with that visual issue.
So I visited just before and I kind of had the same feeling, and then the for sale sign didn't help at all. There's a realtor sign that hangs down, but that's sedentary. But the difficulty I have is just everybody else in the neighborhood has a 6 foot fence and I would not want a 4 foot fence there personally. If that was my house, I would really struggle with having a 4 foot fence. But when we wrote this thing or passed it through the planning commission a couple of years ago, the thing that struck me was the current or how it's written is it says the exceptions to it are the other circumstances over which the applicant has no control, and the applicant does have control of it. But they could have done it before or figured it out before they put it up. And I guess that's where I'm struggling with the fact that it was put up before or after the rules, but that's kind of being the nitpicky, but I don't know. I can go either way. I'd like to hear what you had to say, Ron.
I did not make a site visit. I intended to make a site visit, but life happened. I'm concerned over safety. If you have to pull into the street to see oncoming traffic, it concerns me. However, the fence across the street is the same height. So would it be possible to lower a portion of the fence, a couple of feet, 3 feet? To help with the viewing the traffic coming, is that even possible?
Well, that's what we have the power to say.
Well, I'm asking.
Can I just speak from here? or-
Actually, you can't. That's
Oh,
right, man.
sorry.
Close. Sorry. Yeah,
Uh,
he's just,
I should be asking these guys over here. What, do y'all think it'd be possible to lower that fence a little bit right there in that corner?
well, what I would say is maybe if that's a concern, having them move the fence back from this Roosevelt Loop farther. If that's what you want to do, that's what you'd have to say.
Okay.
We could either do that or we could have the fence gradually come down to where you still have vision up Virginia.
Right, but yeah, I mean, that's an option too,
Just take a chalk line, snap it, take a saw.
So for those of you who went to the site, would a 4-foot fence allow you to see the traffic coming from the west? I'm sorry, heading west, coming from the east.
I don't know if it'd do any better. I think the thing is just say move it back farther, but then I knew you were gonna get into that. If Derek's already said that they measured it and it was appropriate, correct?
It is that, well, yeah,
But I mean, that's the kind of the worry of, I don't know, I guess we're here to figure out what you want to do.
And one more question for you, Derek, is
Oh, I don't know if we actually
we
can't
can
ask,
ask him any questions?
can't ask you any question. So it's up to us to figure this one out.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do. Well, there's the, we'll see what our options are just for fun. So I visited and just a few minutes ago and it was seeing down the street was a little bit of a concern for me. But then again, the adjacent property owners down the street have already had a 6-foot fence, so it seems kind of weird to say they can't have a 6-foot fence. But I'm more inclined to just say maybe move it down a few feet
Moving down which direction?
towards
To the east.
to the east. So that it gets rid of the site problem. If you look at your picture on the page 3. Just it kind of goes,
With the blue?
well, the color picture.
Yeah.
You can see how far down it goes. I don't know. I've never done this before to tell somebody no on anything. This would be the first time I can remember us giving terms to a property owner. So this is new territory for me as well. I mean, I can't remember us ever doing that to a homeowner. I mean, we've done things to like Pembina all the time.
And the thing is not the whole fence need to be cut down. Just a portion so you can see up Virginia safely, you see up Virginia. I don't know what that distance is though.
I don't even. It was up to you.
My recommendation is to either cut the fence back to the east. Or have it come gradually from the 6-foot level down to the you have visual. Reference of Virginia to the east.
We can say that. So that'd be well, so where's the motions to,
I was just looking for that.
and we know where they, oh, man. Usually we have things that tell us what to say.
did I not give you a motion?
I'm struggling to find it.
Yeah, I haven't found any there.
No,
I do apologize for that.
well, so I guess we can just sort of,
We're able to prove it.
um,
You want me to take a pop at it?
sure, go for it. And I'll
Make a
write it down.
motion. I'm sorry.
There we go. I got pen. Okay,
Make a motion to adjust the fence, either cutting down to the east or adjusting gradually. To allow sight of Virginia to the east,
how far should they?
just enough to where we could see sitting at the stop sign. In your vehicle.
So everybody feel comfortable with that language, or we could direct staff to come up with that, couldn't we?
We could put it at the discretion of the building official.
That sounds good, like that.
Yes.
So the recommendation of the planning commission would be approve the variance for the existing fence line, except the adjustments
Adjustment for sight.
for sight vision for those exiting Roosevelt.
Sounds good.
Is that going to be good enough for Derek City?
I can come up with something with that, yeah.
So does anyone make a motion?
I make.
Or I mean, a motion or a second, or I guess we had a motion. Let's let's
Second that motion.
let's see, we'll approve the, see. You'll make a motion. Make a motion to approve the variance, but with the adjustment of the height for last.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance with adjustment of height to the fence to allow vision up Virginia to the east.
As directed by
As
city
directed by city.
staff.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Um. Other business extension request for case number SUB 1-22 Garfield subdivision. That's not in our packet.
The letter's not in your packet?
Near the
Oh.
end.
Oh, that's. Oh, that was that. I thought that was for this one.
No,
Okay. So do we vote on this?
I don't know if it requires, I'd probably take a motion and take a vote for it to extend it.
So this is the one that you guys are here for. I get you. Do we need to have them speak or are we just,
I think that you could probably invite them up if they wanted to speak, but
Okay. Would you guys like to come up and talk? Nope. Yeah, so I read this and I thought this was dealing with the other one. I didn't even look
I'll
at
just
that.
read it really quickly,
Yeah.
Bobby. I might need help with the big words.
So this is the one that's down over the hill that you're putting in 9 houses down at the end of Garfield and you just want to extend the time period to do the construction.
Correct.
Gotcha. But there's no changes to the. Okay, all right. So you just want more time. I got you. Okay. Does anybody have a motion?
How much time would you like?
What's
A year.
so you want to extend it out another 12 months?
Yeah.
Which is something we already voted and approved for them. So we're just giving them another year to do the project.
Good.
Anybody have a motion?
I move that we extend case number SUB 1-22 Garfield subdivision for 12 months to allow the developer to complete the development.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The public comment, does anyone wish to speak in matters not listed under scheduled public hearings tonight? All right, does the commission wish to make any comments tonight? Anybody?
No.
We'll have adjournment.